Yehovah Tzva'ot, Yehovah of Hosts, Commander of heavenly armies, the one who defends his people against every adversary. Yehovah Elohei Tzva'ot, Kadosh, Kadosh, Kadosh. Please fill me and lead me, and cover me and stir me, and speak through me with your Ruach Kodesh, that I may speak your written words with boldness and humility to those who listen. I ask all these things in Yeshua HaMashiach's name. Amen. We'll start with the Shema. Listen and obey. Children of Yehovah, pay careful attention and respond. Yehovah is our power and authority. Yehovah works in unity with himself, and you shall act upon your love to Yehovah with your power and authority, with your thoughts and mind, with your entire body, and with all the muchness that you have. Yeh-ho-VAH. Hand, behold, nail, behold. 2 Chronicles chapter 32. After these events and this faithfulness of Hezekiah's, Sennacherib, king of Ashur, came, invaded Yehudah, and besieged the fortified cities, thinking that he would break in and capture them. When Hezekiah saw that Sennacherib had come and intended to attack Jerusalem, he consulted his leading men and military advisors about sealing off the Elephtah water in the springs outside the city. After gaining their support, a large crowd was gathered to block Elephtah, all the springs, and the Elephtah stream flowing through the countryside. They reasoned, why should the kings of Ashur come and find an ample supply of water? Then, taking courage, he rebuilt Elephtah, all the broken sections of the wall, raised towers on it, and built other walls outside that strengthened Elephtah the Milo in the city of David, and made a large quantity of spears and shields. He appointed military commanders over the people, then gathered them before him in the open space at the city gate, and spoke these words of encouragement to them. Be strong, take courage, don't be afraid or distressed on account of the king of Ashur, or all the horde he brings with him. For the one with us is greater than the one with him. He has human strength, but we have Yehovah our God to help us and to fight our battles. The people took heart at the words of Hezekiah, king of Yehudah. After this, while Sennacherib and all his army was besieging Lachish, he sent his envoys to Jerusalem, to Hezekiah, king of Yehudah, and to all Yehudah who were in Jerusalem, with this message. This is what Sennacherib, king of Ashur, says. What gives you the confidence that you can endure a siege against Jerusalem? Hasn't Hezekiah deluded you? Isn't he condemning you to death by starvation and thirst when he says, Yehovah, our God, will save us from the king of Ashur? Isn't this the same Hezekiah who removed your God's Elephtah high places and Elephtah altars, and ordered Yehudah and Jerusalem to worship before one altar and offer sacrifices only on it? Don't you realize what I and my ancestors have done to all the peoples of the other countries? Were the gods of these nations able to do a thing to rescue their Elephtah country from me? Who of all the gods of those nations that my ancestors completely destroyed was able to rescue Elephtah, his people, from me? How then will your God rescue you from me? Don't let Hezekiah mislead you or delude you from this way. Don't believe him, for no God of any nation or kingdom has ever been able to rescue his people from me or my ancestors. How much less will your God rescue you from me? His envoys kept on speaking against Yehovah, God, and against his servant Hezekiah. He also wrote a letter insulting Yehovah, the God of Israel, and speaking against him. It said, just as the gods of the nations of the other countries could not rescue their people from me, likewise Hezekiah's God will not rescue his people from me. They were shouting loudly in the language of the Judeans to the people of Jerusalem who were on the wall, in order to terrify them and make them fearful, so that they could capture Elephtah of the city. They spoke about the God of Jerusalem in the same way, and about the gods of the peoples of the earth, which are merely human artifacts. Because of this, Hezekiah, the king of Yeshayahu the prophet, the son of Amoz, prayed and cried out to heaven. Then Yehovah sent an angel who cut down the valiant warriors, the leaders, and the officers in the king of Ashur's camp, so that they had to return shamefaced to his own country. When he entered the house of his God, his own sons, whom he himself had fathered, put him to death with the sword there. In this way, Yehovah rescued Elatov Hezekiah and those Elatov living in Jerusalem from Sancheriv the king of Ashur, and from everyone caring for them in every respect. Many people brought gifts to Yehovah in Jerusalem and items of value to Hezekiah king of Yehudah, so that from then on he was regarded highly by all the nations. Around this time, Hezekiah came ill to the point of death, but he prayed to Yehovah, who answered him, even giving him a sign. However, Hezekiah did not respond commensurately with the benefit done for him, because he had grown proud. Thus he brought anger on himself and on Yehudah and Jerusalem as well. But Hezekiah then humbled himself from his pride, both he and the people living in Jerusalem, so that Yehovah's anger did not strike them during Hezekiah's lifetime. Hezekiah had vast riches and great honor. He provided himself with storage places of silver, gold, precious stones, spices, shields, and all kinds of valuable articles. Also storehouses for the harvest of grain, wine, and olive oil, and stalls for all kinds of livestock, and pens for the flocks. He provided cities for himself and purchased the flocks and herds in abundance, for God had made him extremely wealthy. It was this same Hezekiah who blocked the upper Elatov outlet of the Gihon spring and diverted the water straight down to the west side of the city of David. Hezekiah succeeded in all that he did. However, in the manner of the ambassadors from the Prince of all, who sent to him to learn of the marvel that had taken place in the land, God left him by himself in order to test him, so that he might know everything that was in his heart. Other activities of Hezekiah and his good deeds are recorded in the vision of Yeshayahu the prophet, the son of Amoz, and in the annals of the kings of Yehudah and Israel. Then Hezekiah slept with his ancestors, and they buried him by the path leading up to the tombs of the descendants of David. All Yehudah and the people living in Jerusalem honored him when he died, after which Manasseh, his son, took his place as king. How can we learn to love our Creator after reading this awesome chapter 32 of 2 Chronicles? We can love Yehovah by trusting him more than human strength or strategy. Love Yehovah by turning to prayer before turning to panic. Love Yehovah by proclaiming his victory even before the battle begins. How can we love our neighbors as we love ourselves and as Yeshua loves us? By encouraging others to stand strong in Yehovah's promises when fear spreads, speaking faith where others speak defeat. How can we bear one another's burdens? By praying for those under spiritual siege, reminding them that the battle belongs to Yehovah, not to man. Standing beside them as Hezekiah and Isaiah did, lifting intercession and courage together. What are the top 3 fruits of the Spirit found? 1. Faith. Hezekiah trusted Yehovah despite overwhelming odds. 2. Courage. The people took strength from the king's faith-filled words. 3. Deliverance. Yehovah sent his angel to destroy the enemy and protect Jerusalem. What is the Hebrew word that encapsulates this chapter? Bee-tah-KHON. Trust, confidence, secure reliance on Yehovah's protection. Verses 7 and 8. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid nor dismayed. With him is an arm of flesh, but with us is Yehovah our God, to help us and to fight our battles. How can we find Yeshua in the scriptures? Hezekiah's faith prefigures Messiah's victory over spiritual powers, not by might, but by divine authority. The angel who struck down the Assyrian army foreshadows Yeshua's triumph over death and darkness. Yeshua stands as the ultimate defender whose strength shields all who trust in him. Mitzvah response, Torah-Based, Mitzvah. Deuteronomy 20 verse 4. For Yehovah your God, he who goes with you to fight for you against your enemies, to give you victory. A response might look like this: I will not fear what man can do. Yehovah Tzva'ot fights my battles. My part is faith. His part is victory. Hebrew declaration. Bitachon, Yehovah, Mavi, Nesachon, V'Shalom. Trust in Yehovah brings victory and peace. We'll end with the Aaronic blessing using the name. Yehovah will kneel before you presenting gifts, and he will guard you with a hedge of protection. Yehovah will illuminate the wholeness of his being toward you, bringing order, and he will provide you with love, sustenance, and friendship. Yehovah will lift up the wholeness of his being and look upon you, set in place all you need to be whole and complete. Shalom, shalom.